Alright guys, so this is the VMA Diaries and we welcome each and every one of you here. My name is Bright Ellis. I'm here with my comrades. Jerome. Yep. Jerome Biggs is here. He's an artist and repertoire. I believe I got that one right. And the ever sexy, I'm gonna call your name already.
Yummy.
Yummy. DJ Yummy is also here with us. We're here to do a whole overview, right? You might want to call it an overhaul. It is not an overhaul, all right? So we are coming to look at the journey so far, or the journey before the main event. Indeed, it started with some seminars to equip artists or people who will be part of the whole scheme with some knowledge before they get in. And the very first one, Kickstart, here in Ho, it was actually segmented into 3 parts. We had the Central Volta, the Southern, and the Northern Volta. So let's quickly touch on the one that happened in the Central, that is Ho. Well, I don't know, Jerome.
Yeah.
Well, let's first look at the seminar, the whole idea for us to have a seminar before we go into the whole scheme. Good or bad?
Well, I think it was a good initiative. I think the organizers and the stakeholders of the Volta Music Awards wanted to get the artists sensitized on a whole lot of issues pertaining how to file and the whole buzz around the scheme. So for me, I thought it was a good one. It was a good one.
Sure. Yami, how about you?
Yeah, for me, it was a great idea because this being the maiden edition, artists should know what they are about. They should know what they are going into. It's not like they just wake up one day and then there is something like Volta Music Awards and so everybody's rushing. So it was a great idea. And then the people who actually were, situated for the panel for this seminar was great. They were just perfect because there are people who are versed in the industry. They know
deeply
a lot more, yes,
into
music, and so I feel it was the best. It was the best for artists.
All right, myself, I think yes, is indeed a great one to let people know exactly what the whole scheme is all about.
Yeah.
I want to believe it is not a scheme like other ones where we could say, because we are privy to exactly what they do, that's exactly the same thing that will be done here.
Yeah.
So it gave artists, or let me just say people who are going to be part of the whole scheme, an idea, a fair idea of how things should be done. Now let's look at patronage. The Central one, I was there myself. Jerome, too bad you were
I wasn't about, but I saw excerpts of the one held at the Tibu Villa
exactly.
in Ho.
Yeah.
And I think the turnouts were great. The turnout was great. In the key players, Elombini, Johnila, and
I think they had the music guy.
The music guy,
yeah.
Mr. Tony D.
D.
Mr. Kwamisenyo as well,
Yeah.
and ace broadcaster in the region,
Sure.
of course. And I think it was great. It was great.
Wow, exactly. I was a little surprised when I saw, the number of people out there who came, artists who wanted to know exactly what the whole thing is all about. You had people traveling all the way from Accra just to come and be part of the seminar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
So then again, let's look at the one held in the northern belt in Hohwe.
That came with a lot of controversy, a lot of issues that they have been sidelined. I hear it was in Hohwe, not that I hear. I know very well it was in Hohwe, and people didn't even turn up.
Yeah,
people didn't turn up.
It was as if they didn't hear about the whole Volta Music Awards project.
And I have one question to ask. I don't know if we don't have artists in Hokwe, like the northern part. That is what it actually placed out, that we don't have artists over there. Because if we should have people who do music in there or who resides there, they should turn up. I don't
personally, I don't know a single artist from the Northern Belt.
Oh, at least I know
that's actually
Planet
my personal
Machete.
sentiment. I don't know a single artist from the Northern Belt. So I felt this was an opportunity to actually get known and get on board and create that buzz for yourself with the Volta Music Awards. But they failed to take advantage.
There could be an instance where maybe, the hype, the publicity was not so, deep in there for them to know and come out. For me, to some extent, it looks like everything has been centralized.
No, but I feel that the same channels that were used in the Central Belt were the same channels used across board. It was radio and social media. So we had other radios from the Northern Belt and social media as well.
Okay.
It was the same across board when the other one that was held in Aflau.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
the same thing, and the turnout was great. So the big question actually is that what happened in Hohoe?
And the fact is, I think Eventic GA did so well. They traveled all around, visited radio stations to announce the seminar. So if we should say that the publicity was down over there, then maybe the radio station didn't do their work.
Well, the in quote sabotage coming from the northern side, conceived Northern Volta Music Awards.
Yeah.
They said they have been left out because publicity was on the very low. That was exactly what they said. They said they
Ellis,
were actually
but
they were taking.
But the thing is that, do we think that the Northern Volta Music Awards is credible enough?
Someone put something together. A lot of people believe in it.
So
I think it's okay.
why would we have subsidiaries of the same scheme in the region? This region is too small
Well,
to
I
have
feel
subsidiary awards.
if they feel they've been left out, they can do something like that
Then
to
very
honor
soon we'll
themselves.
have Central Volta Music
No,
Awards. in
now
Volta.
the Central and then the Southern are together. I think the Southern has also embraced this VMA thing as much as the Central people has also embraced it. So it's just for the Northern part. So if they feel that, well, we've been left out, they didn't include us that much in this, we can also have a small award scheme. And I mean,
So moving forward, what do you guys think would be the way for us to curb this kind of things recurring?
For me, I think
the subsidiary
a thorough
awards.
publicity. We need to involve. I think now we have a couple of the radio stations that are so much into entertainment, a couple of the personalities or on-air
big shout outs
personalities.
to Swanky J, always
Exactly.
holding
Who is holding
the
it
scheme
down.
down.
So I think we can bridge that gap.
Yeah.
So going into 2019, for me, I think maybe the campaign should even start from the northern down to the central.
I think I would
then
have to
move
agree with that. I would
and
have
then
to agree with that.
if not only for the campaign, there should be a little more education too, because if the people don't know what the whole thing is about, they can't involve themselves. And so whilst we are publicizing it, there is this thing called VMA. We should also educate them more about it. Then I think we'll be good to go.
Well, the final one on that one, I think there is a publication on standoutentgs.com coming from a guy called Crosscheck, or is it Check Cross or something like
Crosscheck.
that? And he's saying that the artists in the northern part are not confident enough. That is why we are seeing them not to be part of a whole lot of these things. Okay, so VMA's diary here, Volta Music Awards. We did that a couple of weeks ago. Good, and we need to sit down and indeed let's have an overview. So we're done with the seminar, and maybe we should move on to another topic.
Okay, so yes, you can always join the conversation through our social media platforms, hashtag VMA Diaries or Volta Music Awards. So yes, we are here to talk about the nominees announcement, the launch, which happened right here in Ho at Sky Plus Hotel. Ellis, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, very unfortunate. The time schedule for the event didn't,
Go well.
Well, I think the Ghanaman thing song, so we can just leave it there. I think going into 2019, I would want us to, start exactly the time schedule.
Okay.
So for me, yeah. And I think I love the
turnout.
The turnout, the patronage. It gave me that satisfactory, feeling.
Okay.
It was so colorful. People were all over the place. I love the performances. And hey, for me, I think it was a big deal. It was very necessary, and I want to see it happen again come 2019.
Okay, so let me keep my comment. Let me go straight to Jerome. Jerome, were you present?
I wasn't present. But,
Oh, you dear, seminar no,
no,
lunch no.
because yeah, it all happened because I had some equally important stuff to take care of. But
Okay.
as usual, I actually saw excerpts of it, and I saw what went on. Venunya,
Yeah,
Yes,
perform.
Venunya
Tony
performed.
D, and our own regional musical chairman
Yeah.
holding us down. I think it was a great event. I think after that we were in the studio.
Yeah, after that we were in the studio.
Yeah.
So
But seriously, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting too much. I wasn't happy with the turnout. Seriously.
Wow.
I've been saying this ever since we had that program. Maybe I was expecting too much, and it was open to the general public. Weren't taking anything, so I expected the general public, since it was the maiden edition, I was expecting a lot of patronage from the general public.
Yeah.
Yes, I was expecting
I think
a lot of
for our
patronage.
region, this is where we stand at a very disadvantageous position. The region is very lengthy, like the longest region of Ghana.
Yeah.
So for someone to travel all the way from the north to come down to the central for this particular show,
Yeah.
person would kind of be, you know, a little hesitant. The same way for the south down here. But unlike Accra, like everything is based in Accra, people could
In the
just come
center,
out and
yeah.
So for me, I think that could be the problem. But again, sensitization, the reason why we need to gather is one of the most important
Yeah.
elements in there. So it was good going for me. I think the patronage was very satisfactory
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me until, of course, yes.
And I think all the nominees most of them were
Most of
present.
them were present.
I could see all the brightness on their faces. Everybody who got nominated. We even had most of our big bosses in Accra talking to our nominees via the phone. You know, JMJ, we spoke with JMJ live, and then he actually expressed how happy he was, how our artists down here actually embraced this whole VMA thing. And it was great. I think it implanted in them some kind of assurance that, and then, yes, our big brother Edem also contributed. And then our boys down here were glad. They were much excited to have these people out there backing them, and then giving them all the
and
assurance.
we were also lucky to actually have a legend in the traditional music settings in the region,
Yeah.
Israel Maweta,
Of course,
actually
yeah,
graced
of
the
course.
occasion with a
Yeah.
splendid performance. And for me,
Venunye also performed.
Yeah.
yes. So
Did
for
a
me,
great
beautiful.
work.
I felt it was great. Personally, I felt the turnout was great. Judging from what I saw, I felt it was great. But so was that the same day we had the nominees out?
That was the,
Yeah.
the
So let's
same
start.
day.
Let's start from the post reactions of the nominations. So at some point in time, I heard JJ Gonami had a problem with the scheme and felt that the song he actually filed
yeah.
for a nomination in the hip hop category was actually swapped to the hip life category.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
well, my question is, does the scheme have that power to swap songs for
Yes.
for an artist?
Yes.
They have
yes,
that power.
because they stated that they have the sole prerogative
Yeah.
to actually determine the category of music they deem fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it means they reserve that power.
Exactly.
Yes.
I see.
That's what it basically means.
I see. Anyway,
Well, so this is it. Now, who best tells the genre of a song? Well, I don't want us to go in deep with that one. though,
No,
but
that's why there. No, let me come in here. That's why there is a board. There is a board who listens to all the songs that have been filed,
Yeah.
and they actually go into meetings and they go like, this song that you filed actually deserves to be in the hip life category.
okay,
If, you know, most artists have songs that they don't even know the genre it belongs.
okay. And now,
Trust me.
does the board talk to the artist?
Yes.
And this one with JJ Gonami's case, did the board speak with JJ Gonami?
JJ Gonami didn't actually write to the board officially stating
Okay.
his displeasure.
Okay.
From what we heard from the president of Invented GH, JJ Gonami didn't reach them officially to actually lay out his worries to them. He was out on social media, on radio, actually degrading the scheme. He went to the extent of actually degrading the plaque, and that was where some of us felt he should be removed from the scheme.
Yeah.
You know,
And so he
because
was removed. But then
no,
sometimes
this being the maiden edition, I felt that the organizers had let a lot of things slide, and I don't want us to. Going forward in the subsequent editions, I don't want us to take things lightly,
Yeah.
because you can't degrade a scheme and you want to be part of the same scheme. It's not done anywhere. You understand? So
No,
I feel
but-
that our artists down here need to learn a lot.
But sometimes I also feel that the board can also go wrong sometimes. Let's take a critical look at last year's VGMA. Was it last year or last year? I'm sure it's last year. Kofi Kenate, Sweetie Pie, and Confession had this same problem. Sweetie Pie, we all know, is a high life song, was placed under hip life, and then Confession as a hip life song was placed under high life, which clearly everybody knows that, look, these two songs is like they were misplaced, and that was not his filing.
I am happy you stated that everybody felt, but the board didn't feel like.
But listen, if you they are
Because the
simply-
board is
What it means
made
is
the board is made
board
up
can
of.
never go wrong.
It's not like they can
can
never
go
go wrong,
wrong.
but I feel that it's made up of people who understand music
Oh, well.
better than some of we do.
And
Majority
so,
of the public.
Jerome, let's be honest here.
Mm.
Sweetie Pie, is it a high life or a hip life song?
I can't tell.
Maybe we should just come down to JJ Gonami.
Yeah.
Ade.
So
Ade
Go.
Ade
I think
Go.
the
Ade
title
Go,
of the
yeah,
song
he
was
said
Ade
Ade
Go.
Go is a
He
hip
said
hop
it's a-
song.
yeah, he said it's a
and
hip-hop.
He was
But
categorized
listening to the
into-
song, did you feel it was a hip hop song?
Yeah, it is a hip hop song.
And it was
That
categorized
is
into a hip
for
life.
me.
But
Yeah.
the thing is that we've had problems with the categorization of hip hop and hip life in Ghana.
Yeah.
So
Well-
at first, I think the VGMA used to be hip hop / hip life category.
Yeah.
So it means there's a relation between hip hop and hip life that our artists need to learn about.
Okay.
So moving from JJ Gonami, we went down to Hector.
Hector, yeah, Hector said he didn't get enough nominations. So I think
He wouldn't go on stage
he
to
was
perform on the awards night.
Yeah, and he didn't campaign.
Yeah.
He was on my show. He let his frustrations out. He deserved to be in one category, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to some point, I think when you get too many nominations,
You might
Split
end
votes.
up not getting any.
your chances
Yeah.
of winning any
And then
is
again,
very, very, very
this
slim.
brings to mind that about writing officially to the scheme
Okay,
and laying your displeasures in front of them.
sure.
But most of them didn't write to the scheme. They only went on radio,
Social
went on their
media
social media
is-
to rant.
And-
And I
and
felt that it wasn't
sometimes-
professional of them.
I also felt that these people, especially Hector, is feeling this way because of the number of years under review. He's worked under this number of years, the years they are reviewing, he's really worked. And so he felt that, yes, I've worked. These are my works, and I've presented my works to the board. So why am I not getting this number of nominations? Sometimes they feel that if I get this number of nominations and then I don't even win, it makes me qualify.
But
Like-
other people have worked too. It's not like you're
yes,
the only
yes.
artist who worked.
Other people have worked, but I'm just taking his
Like
grievances.
yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm talking from.
So for you believe anybody who believes he deserves a particular category
Not
should be
as
placed
in
in third?
no, not as in belief, but it depends on the category they are filing for.
Okay.
It depends on the. I learned Voodoo was not nominated for one particular category, and I've actually forgotten that category. But looking critically, Voodoo really deserved it.
Voodoo was in the video.
Yes,
Video
I
category.
think
Video,
was it
video
hip hop or
category.
something? He was supposed to Voodoo was supposed to be nominated for that category, and then he didn't get that
I don't know if
nomination.
it was another song that was put in some category.
I think
that you
Ayele or
felt-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well-
then talking about Fiamos Yaka, personally, I was
crush on
blown
the
out.
song.
Yes. I was blown out when that song
It had a
didn't.
nomination.
It didn't.
Did he
Because-
fight?
He filed. He said he filed for best songwriter of the year.
Yeah, so
And
then again,
That song is more or less
let's
a cover
talk
of a
about
mixtape.
let's talk about the songs that missed out on nominations.
Sure.
Because I felt that some songs were supposed to be mixtapes.
Mixtapes, exactly.
Kasari's Gomene was a mixtape.
Yeah.
But it had a nomination.
A nomination.
So why did Fiamos Yaka,
JJ Gonami's
which is a
Jijo
mixtape,
Koko
didn't have a
was a
nomination?
mixtape. Yeah.
So going forward, I feel that
Kanozis Akpe was a mixtape. But
That's
all
only a
these
rendition.
had
so going forward, I feel that the organizers should look at these things, and so that we have a
So
better
okay,
scheme next year.
let's liken the situation. Yewo Chrome from that guy,
Atom.
Atom. Hip Life song
Yeah.
some time ago.
Was it not a mixtape?
It was.
Yewo Chrome,
it
I
had
think
a
it
little
was
slight production?
replayed by
Yes, the beat
by
was
Cash
replayed.
2 and Ray.
Okay, so when it is replayed, it qualifies to be in any category.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was replayed.
So I want to believe most of the songs in the Fiamos production was the beat was replayed by
No, it was the same thing.
was
When you
just
listen,
mixed.
it was the same thing.
It was
I
mixed.
was in the studio the other day and the same beat popped up.
Yeah.
And it
We have
sounded
an
I think that
original
song
song to
yeah
that.
it's
We have an original
for
song to that.
is it Arabi? Someone
Something like
featuring Zeal,
Exactly.
VVIP, one of them. But then I felt the song. I mean, it was great. The lyrics.
Don't be pained.
we are talking about
All
lyrics.
right. Okay. So quickly, let's touch on. Venunia said something quite very solid about some categories should be industry based. That is, the vocalist,
Yeah.
Of the
songwriter
Yeah.
should be left out for the industry thing. You don't need to vote for them. Going into 2019, I would want to see that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personally, I had a problem with the winner of the Female Vocalist of the Year category. I felt that it wasn't up to standard. It wasn't up to industry standard. Personally.
Who won?
I think Lynchpin.
Lynchpin. Okay.
I am not playing down anybody's hustle, but I like it when things are done industry standard. I felt that.
But it was for
It was
public-
vote.
It was for vote and
It was vote.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I love it when things are done with the industry standard.
Sure.
Why would we allow female vocalists to be open for vote? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be an industry thing.
wow.
So going forward next year, I would love Eventage to have an industry-based female
Most of these
vocalist of
things
the
are
year and a
technical.
male vocalist of the year category.
Yeah.
I think it's, songwriter too.
Songwriter of the year as
songwriter.
well.
Yeah.
Songwriter.
Most of these things are technical.
Okay. VMA Diaries here, and take a short break. We'll be back. Stay with us. So VMA Diaries here, we are back. Thanks so much for still being with us. Let's quickly get into that point where media's involvement into this whole thing. Was the media up to the task? The radio stations, the independent media, social media. So let's just say the traditional media, social media, any other avenue that is supposed to help make this scheme a bigger one. Let's start with the radio stations. Have we seen enough from them?
Yeah, we saw a lot of radio stations actually have moments dedicated to the award scheme. Indeed, you and I were on Global FM. We had our own version of the Global Drive, and we had Volta Music Moments. We actually gave out an exclusive 45 minutes speaking to all the nominees and industry players every day.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great. That was where we had all the controversies and all the buzz around the Volta Music Award. And I felt that people, the radio stations actually gave in a lot.
Yeah. For me, I feel yes. You guys, yourself and Jerome, you did so well when it came to the VMA moment, and other media houses. I mean, the radio stations down here, they didn't decline. Anytime something is about Volta Music Awards, they are up for it. They didn't demanded any money. We play the jingles for Volta Music Awards, interviews, we're running them. Aside that, we the presenters, personally, every day on our show, we talk about VMA. I think because it was the maiden edition, everybody was having some kind of high hopes. It's something we've never experienced in the region, so it I don't know, we were all excited to have it. So the media played its major role. Yes, we did. I wouldn't say 100%, but some part we did.
Yes, I also think a lot of radio stations did well to be part of the whole thing until, for me, I think going into 2019, I would want it to not only be on some selected programs, because some radio personalities or on-air personalities felt that I owe it to the organizers, all right? I am believing that the morning show can't even have a discussion on the award scheme. I think to some point it was only revolving around the afternoon drives, which I think is not a complete dedication. So moving forward, organizers of the Volta Music Awards would have to enter a proper MOU. So to see everything from beginning of transmission until the shutdown of transmission to talk about the Volta Music Awards.
I personally feel that this morning show host and the mid-morning, they feel that they are not really into entertainment. Most morning show hosts do a lot of politics, political issues and all of that, discussions and all of that. So Volta Music Awards is for the entertainment people, the showbiz people. Yeah, that's what they feel. But I want to say this is for the region. So if you are talking about anything that concerns the region, that concerns human beings, we that live in the region and outside the region, certain things shouldn't be left out. Because trust me, next year or whatever year, the years to come, Volta Music Awards is going to include radio personalities as well. That is what I am believing.
Yeah,
sure.
They should. And if morning show hosts are left out, they will sit on their morning show and say that they weren't included or yes, exactly. So it's better we start from now. We are all part of the industry. This is part of the industry. Volta Music Awards is part of the industry. So if you're into radio, no matter what program you do, even if it's a talk show, marriage show, you should talk about Volta Music Awards.
Love and sex show. Talk about Volta Music.
Okay, so let's look at social media.
Yeah, I think social media was where the buzz is. It was where the buzz
You think
is.
it was enough?
Yeah, I think with people who are so much concerned, they were all over the place. Yeah, I think the organizers of the Volta Music Awards, Eventic themselves, they were all over social media.
Yeah.
For me, I think so. So for social media, you don't have to even enter into any agreement with anybody before you let your things out. So for them, that avenue was conquered. Unlike radio, unlike other media outlets, TV, radio, you need to go into partnership or agreement. But for social media, well, it was there until maybe we did not extend it. We did not. It was just revolving around us here. It was in the Volta Showbiz Guru.
Okay, so yes, this is still the VMA Diaries. You can follow us, all the conversation, via our social media platform, hashtag Volta Music Awards or hashtag VMA Diaries. Now let's go to the main event.
The main event.
10th March
Yeah.
2018.
I couldn't sleep until that day. I so much look forward to having a great time, and indeed it was a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
was.
want to start from
The sound check.
the sound check. Yes.
'Cause we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. We passed
And
by.
the mounting of the stage and the lighting system.
It was all on point.
We were
Until,
there.
of course, I think the display screen, the LED screen,
Oh,
is it LCD? The liquid display, whatever.
Alice, that's enough.
Crystal display. Yeah. I think it didn't come that very early, so the whole stage would have to, be brought down.
Yes.
So they fix it and, it would have to be, move up again.
Yeah.
For me, I would have to say, sound was incredibly on
Big
point
shout out
for
to
me.
Royal Sounds.
Royal Sounds, amazing job. And even before we go on there, come on, Sky Plus, thanks so much for
Yes,
holding us down with the
thank you
nominees
so much.
announcement.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. And good. Again with time. The African thing.
we're
we
supposed to
far
start
behind time
the red carpet at 7.
and close 8 exactly.
Yeah.
But I
The red
had to
carpet started,
personally,
I think.
I had to personally come in and shut down the red carpet.
We started somewhere around 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that is
I don't
pretty
think it
bad.
was it
Not that bad.
No, it was bad. Very, very bad.
Fine,
Like
good.
seriously bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the organizer's fault. It wasn't the presenter's fault. We were all ready. We were up until the person supposed to hook us up, the camera and everything.
So, in other words, coordination of the red carpet.
Yeah.
That was where the
poor.
slack was.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the low moments of the awards night. Let's talk about DJing on the night. What did you think?
DJing on the night, I think. Well,
DJ Ricky Augustin of OFM was the official DJ for the night.
Yeah.
Personally, I have my own reservations about that. I felt he was below par on the night. Yeah, that's my personal
yeah, come on.
reservations,
Yeah.
and I actually reserved that. I don't know about Yummy.
Yeah. I actually got in quite late. The main event, I got in quite late because we were on the red carpet.
Yeah.
So, but there were certain things I observed. I want to believe that for an event like this, you should have everything at hand. All your folders should be up to. If we are talking about, let's have our nominees for this category, don't be giving us another category. If the MC for the day wants to say something and he goes blank, please play music. Like the thing should be up
Just
and
little
doing. Now,
glitches or gaps.
someone wins video of the year and they are playing Stone Boys video at the
my
background.
God.
It was bad. They are saying they are saying
I
things-
think that should go to the quarters of the vision mixer. The vision mixer.
you should work
got-
in hand with a DJ.
Yes, I think the DJ's job was a little cut out because the DJ and the visual mixer, they were,
But
some
then
distance
again,
away.
the big question is, where was the coordinator of the show?
Who coordinated the show?
I'd want to know.
Eventic
Eventic
GH.
I'd want to know who coordinated the show.
Yes, indeed.
So let's again take it from the aspect of seating arrangements. Do you
It
think
was a total chaos.
Yes.
It was a total chaos.
Yeah.
It was a total chaos.
Yeah.
because people had VIP tickets and they were sitting
At the popular stand.
yeah. Personally, I had to go sit at the top.
And what even made it bad was when the MC said, if you are not supposed to be on the VIP terrace or whatever, off you go. Oh, come on. It was too late already.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was late.
let's look at the most controversial bits of the night.
Yep.
A group won an award, I think for the group of the year.
Yeah.
And a
Why-
member of Kemenya
YDM?
walked straight to the stage and said they didn't deserve it.
You didn't deserve
I felt it was a complete disrespect
Yeah.
and a complete copycat of the Western world. And
Kanye did
it shouldn't
that
be
to-
encouraged.
was
At
it
the
Taylor Swift
Grammys,
or something?
at the Grammys.
Yeah, that Beyonce
and I,
deserved
and I,
this.
and I feel that it shouldn't be encouraged. I feel that he should have come out with an unqualified apology to the scheme and to we the industry people seated and all the big men seated there.
Yeah.
Because it was a gross disrespect to everybody
We
seated
did post VMA Blues. I called him and he said he's never
going to apologize,
apologize
because they
for
felt
that
that
blunder.
that award should be theirs. Like they've won it. It's a 3 points for them until
What is this
they
saying?
had the
Come on,
shockest
look
moment
how
of the
we-
night.
maybe something in there to make the
Okay.
whole thing look a little.
Yeah, so-
Not
so-
as if it is the best.
Yeah,
It is not
yeah,
the best.
yeah.
So moving forward, let's look at the performances on the night.
Yeah.
Who was your best performer for the night?
Bells.
Okay, that is for you. I think, indeed, maybe until, of course, we'd have to group this thing. The traditional performances, for
Of
me,
course,
it
of
was
course.
off the
My
hook.
best performance was the traditional
It
performance.
was
Yeah,
off
it
the
was,
hook.
it was.
Razzie,
It was
and
Salon
then the
Razzie.
Bobo group and
Yeah.
Bobo Boy and
Nanavi
Ziggy group.
Maweta,
Yeah.
Charlie, the
I
whole
felt his
place
performance was
turned up.
electric.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was. I said Bells because at that moment, Bells was splitting up. The Bells group was no more
Yeah.
until they had to come back on stage and
For
perform
the award
together. That's why I said they were good. But trust me, Salom Razzie and his Bobo group was great. Kula did something amazing on stage.
Yeah.
Oh my, it was mind blowing. Like they did well. They did so
And
well.
Fiamo
Yeah.
actually shed a little bit
Yeah.
of tear
Yeah.
for
Yeah. That
was so
the lost
emotional.
brother Ogbonana from
Ogbonana,
Pando.
of course.
May his soul rest in
No,
peace.
so that bounces us in, or should I say that straight fly we into he calling for a minute of silence. Was he the one who called for the minute
Yeah,
of
he
silence,
was.
or it was
Yes.
the MC?
I think
He
he called.
He called.
I think it was the best for the MC to do that. That is what I feel personally.
Well,
I think it was part of his stage time.
Yes, and he
So,
didn't really
for me, I
plan.
didn't
I don't
feel
think
it
it
was
was
a
a
wrong
planned
move.
thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a planned thing. It was a planned thing. Wow. I didn't know it was a planned thing, but then
I
feel-
am believing that at a point in time there, the MC could come out, people or heroes that we lost along the way.
Yeah.
Then we, do that for all of them. For me to have one artist going so emotional and do that, I think Etiva comedy didn't
Talking about
The
an
MCs.
artist being emotional,
Yeah.
let's look at Enamili's performance.
Whoa.
Did he collapse
Brother said he was done and decided to take a nap.
on stage?
He did. You don't need mattress or bono
To relax on
to
stage.
relax on stage.
And,
Brother was,
and the Lifetime Achievement Award actually went to Togbe Edina Mansa.
Yeah.
And I feel he's done his bit to Ghana music
Sure.
and musica in general.
Yeah. So in all, I think the night was great. It was. Let's talk about the MCs.
Cool. Before even the MCs, I think we need to watch security when it comes to people who get onto the stage. We had some of the plaques broken because people
there were so many
flooded the
people.
stage
Yeah.
and security was nowhere. Eventic GH, let's put asterisk to this.
Now, if I win an award and my fans want to follow me on stage, should they be restricted?
We could.
They should be restricted to a number of people.
We could.
Okay.
What if you have 1,000 fans in the crowd and everybody wants to go on stage with you?
Let's say the whole auditorium wants to be on stage. Something that can never happen though. But that was why we had some of them,
So going
broken.
forward, I feel that those things, the low points should be looked out for
Yeah.
in the 2019 edition of the Volta Music
That was
Awards.
a colorful.
Of course.
Colorful.
Of course. MCs
MCs,
were on
yeah.
point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kokulumo,
Kokulumo, of course.
fantastic.
Big
But
up,
I
man.
think the lady didn't really match. Yeah, the lady didn't really match.
There wasn't enough
The
fluidity,
two of them,
I think.
the two of them needs to be powerful going in there.
Yeah.
And I would want not all of them to come on stage almost every time.
Every time.
I saw the two of them coming almost
All the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hey, sometimes let's have the female come, do something more powerful. Let's have the guy and look come. Apart from that, it was cool. So hey, red carpet, we were also there. I think we did great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. VMA Diaries, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, this has been the VMA Diaries right here, and then it was brought to you by Eventic GH. If you really want to support us, now we didn't have a nominees jam because we didn't have enough sponsors on board. Yeah,
Funding.
and so we want you guys to come on board, just support us, so that next time we can have a nominees jam. We were looking so much forward to.
And it's for
to that.
Eventic GH to cross the boundary wherever, get finance.
Yeah.
Let's do
Next
that
year,
thing.
no nominees jam,
No
no.
main event.
Thank you.
And
So-
of course, we need to say big ups going out to people who were part of this whole thing. Jonila,
Yeah.
Lombini, the whole crew. You guys did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But I believe what we have, talked about here can be bullet, right? So going to 2019, we would have an award scheme with just about 5% off. The lows.
Yeah.
We cannot have 100%, all superb. But hey, it has been wonderful, great. VMA Diaries here.